What God has in front of you is more fulfilling than anything you've seen in the past. There are times the good has to come to an end to make room for the best. It's all a part of God's plan.
And I think more times than not in life, people treat God like a Santa Claus. And then when they don't get the gifts, it's a problem.
You can't see what God is up to, but later on, you're going to understand. You may not see how that works out for your good until years down the road.
I think true courage is the ability to embrace what we don't understand. Even though I don't like it, I can still trust God even though I can't trace God.
We may not like the process. Thoughts will tell you it's never going to get better. That disappointment didn't stop what God has for you. That setback is not stopping you, it's setting you up for new levels.
See, the route you on right now is the route you got to take.
God is in the process of connecting the dots in your life. Everything is serving His plan. You have to trust Him when you don't understand.
I'm going to dig my way out of it. There are no quick fixes to complicated problems. So when you say, what if your digging isn't working? That's what the enemy says to you when God is working on your life. How do you trust God in the midst of your digging? You got nobody else to trust. Not your mother, not your father, not your sister, not your brother. I don't care what you're into. You got nobody you can trust like you can trust God. But just because He doesn't work with your time schedule doesn't mean that He's not working in your behalf.
The fact that things are running out doesn't mean God has forgotten about you. When you see the new door God opens, you'll say, Lord, thank you. You saved the best for now. The best is not behind you. The best is next.
It doesn't have to feel like it's working to be working. It doesn't happen on your schedule, but that doesn't mean it's not working. Somebody watching me right now, you don't even see daylight. You don't see no sign that help is on the way. The Lord said, I'm going to send you the water. You're not going to see it coming. I don't know about you, but I'm ready for it. I'm ready for God to rock my world and blow my mind. And I'm making room for it. My constant prayer is increase my capacity. Capacity for pressure, capacity for stress, capacity for anxiety. But if God thought enough of me to send me, whom the Lord calls, He qualifies. And I came to tell every person in this room, you can do this. I know you're sweating, but you can do this. Or God wouldn't have put you in the situation if you can't do this.
You'll get knocked down, but you won't be knocked out. You have the power to make that decision.
You can do this. Don't give up on your dream. Don't give up on your hope. Don't give up on your promise. Don't give up on what God called you can do. You can do this. It may stretch you, it may expand you, it may enlarge you, but you can do this. I rebuke every devil that's been telling you that you don't have what it takes. You can do this. I never did it before. Yeah, but you can do this. I didn't study this in school. Yeah, I get that. I don't have a degree in that. I get that. But you can do this. Whom He calls, He qualifies. You can do this. And if you don't know what you're doing, get somebody who does and partner with them. And I'm wondering, are you making the right connections for what's next in your life? What are you willing to slay? What are you willing to change in order to get there? What you say, that's just how I am. But in order to get what God wants to get done, you got to get rid of that's just how I am and start saying, make me what you want me to be, increase my capacity. I'm ready to go to the next level. Any way you bless me, Lord, I'll be satisfied. I'm going to change the world before I get out here. And little by little start putting together the strategy that it takes when no is not an option. Say it with me, no is not an option.
I'm going to empower me. And all of these things that are happening to me right now, they're just temporary inconveniences.
I learned that the race is not given to the swift, but to him that endureth to the end. I I learned that speed for a moment doesn't really mean progress. I learned that when you get in a curve, you gotta slow down.
Life happens. If you wait for all your circumstances to calm down, then you're going to have peace. You'll be waiting your whole life. God never promised that He would keep us from difficulties, but He did say He would give us peace in the midst of the storms. That means despite what's going on around you, you still have peace. I didn't get the promotion that I worked for, but I'm not upset. I know God has something better coming my way. You weren't created to live worried. This is the reason many people have health issues. It's because their mind is never at rest. Your mind needs a break. It wasn't meant to go all the time. You have to learn to turn it over to God. You weren't designed to carry that heavy load. If you try to be God, God will step back and say, okay, you figure it out. But when you come back to a place of peace and say, God, I trust you. You have this all figured out, so I'm going to be still and know that you are God. It can be chaotic all around you, traffic, problems, drama, but on the inside, there's a rest. Friends, worry is a thief. It will rob you of your joy. You don't make good decisions when you're worried. We can't add 1 inch to our life by worrying. What's keeping you awake at night? It's time to come back to the still waters. Do yourself a favor. Take the worry off the throne. Take the financial difficulty off the throne and put God back up on the throne to thank God that He's still in control. Let the worry be a reminder to switch over into praise. You have to guard your mind. What if I don't get well? What if I can't make those payments? Don't fall into that trap. If you live worried, uptight, you're inviting discouragement. You have to turn your worry into worship. It's easy to wake up in the middle of the night. Somebody asked me, if I could do anything over again, what would I do differently? I told them I would trust God more. I wonder how many things you're worried about that are never going to come to pass. What if I never get married? What if you do? How much time are you wasting worrying? Jesus put it this way, don't worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will have enough worries of its own. Don't try to figure out the next 5 years, play out all the what ifs. The truth is, if a what if does come to pass, God will give you the grace to handle it. We may not know what the future holds, but we do know who holds the future. Today is a gift. Many of the things you're worried about are not going to happen. And sure, we should plan, we should use common sense, but at some point, you have to turn it over to God. It's very freeing when you learn to turn things over to God. Really, it's important every morning. You should start the day off in peace. Look at the sunrise. Breathe in God's goodness. Thank Him for His blessings in your life. This is one of the main ways we show God we're trusting Him, by staying in peace. You're stable, you're consistent, you're in the rest of God.
That is a journey, my friend. That is a process. You will still have different things in your life you got to work through. And then when you get in success, it's going to feel weird. But when you get in success, sit in it anyway. Eventually, you're going to begin to wear it, and it's going to become you. It starts out foreign. It works its way to familiar. You're going to win if you don't quit. You're going to get comfortable if you don't quit. It takes a while to own it. And part of the biggest problem is the fear that it won't last. And that's not just money. That's love. That's relationships. We live with the fear that it won't last. It's mine. I've really earned it. That's why it's important that it not be given to you. Because if I give it to you, I can take it from you.